Melissa and I met through courses with Higher Laws back in 2011-ish, and that's a company that blends personal development with spiritual principles. Melissa lives in Fort McMurray, Alberta. With nearly 20 years of experience as a mother and a lifetime of experience managing the ups and downs that come with mental health challenges, Melissa carries a versatile toolbox of strategies to move through the challenges of motherhood. Melissa has worked as an early parenting and postpartum support coordinator for the past 6 years with the Hub Family Resource Center in Fort McMurray Wood Buffalo. As a registered yoga teacher, intuitive healer, and curator of restful movements, Melissa is deeply committed to creating space for self-reflection and healing through a compassionate and embodied yoga practice where mothers can feel deeply nourished. Thanks again for being here live, Melissa. I really appreciate it. And I will pass the mic over to you.
Beautiful. So today I just really wanted to highlight and bring awareness to perinatal depression. So depression that occurs either during pregnancy or in that first year after a mother gives birth. It's something that is can be really, really challenging in what is perceived to be one of the most beautiful times of a woman's life. And can really make a really challenging transition into parenthood when it's not supported. So as you mentioned in my bio, I have been a mother for, well, almost 20 years now, which is a little bit crazy to me. And in those early, months during my pregnancy, really finding a lot of struggle, just feeling like, I can hardly take care of myself right now. How on earth am I going to be able to take care of this baby? And that really being the impetus for me to seek out some support and trying to figure out, like, what do I do from now, from here? So I think something that's important to know, and you maybe have experienced this in your own mental health journey, is it can be really hard to find help, find support when you're really not sure how to do that. So it's really important for family members, for partners, for anyone in that healthcare circle to be really watching for moms and being willing to have some of those really gentle, supportive conversations of saying, you know what, hey, you really don't look like yourself right now, or I've noticed X, Y, and Z in what's maybe you've been a little bit different than you normally have been. So for me, having some conversations, some people I trust, including my OB, I actually went on medication at that time, which helped me to maybe make, that breach that gap in taking care of myself. And it was a first step. It wasn't the only step I took, but it was a first step for me. And really just being able to bring awareness to what was going on in me helped me to really kind of jump into this lifelong journey of managing depression, anxiety, and sort of this whole mental health, mental illness journey. So right now in my role, working with new mothers, really excited about sort of the swing we see in mental health supports. We see that stigma is starting to lift. We're able to have more open conversations like we can here today. But really, I think there's still a lot of stigma that lingers around maternal mental health. So many women in that first, couple weeks after they give birth, experience something called the baby blues. So because of those sudden drop in hormones and a lot of new changes in their lives, can experience things like, mood swings and sadness and tearfulness and, all these sort of things that can be really challenging, but they tend to be reasonably short-lived. So in those first couple of weeks, as we adjust to physical changes and to changes bringing a new baby into the world, there's a lot of ups and downs to navigate. What we really want to watch out for is when those symptoms persist past 2 weeks. And that can happen really anywhere during that first year. Most women in Alberta, where we live right now, are screened at their 2-month checkups with public health, but not always beyond that, and depending on capacity for doing those screenings. Things that we know right now, isolation makes it a lot harder. This is a time where traditionally we have family and friends circling in around new parents, there to help do the dishes and, take care of babies so parents can get the rest they need, because obviously this is a time that is exhausting just by the very nature of taking care of babies and, those round the clock feedings and the needs that they have. And the isolation and lack of social supports makes it a much more challenging time. So physically, there's less time or less ability to be able to rest and support beyond kind of that partnership. If mom has a partner that's present in the relationship. We also know that it's very isolating not to be able to see other mothers and to be able to go, hey, how is this going for you? And is this normal? I think in that first year, that's a lot. It's like, is this normal? Like when I talk to new moms, yes, we talk about how we're feeling and how we're doing, but we also have conversations around like poop and sleep and, development and all these kinds of things. And just to know like, hey, we're all in this together. Like, yeah, your baby threw up on you yesterday too. And, being able to have a little bit of a chuckle around the normalcy of what can be sort of a strange new world that we enter into. The other thing that we notice is that moms who tend to have perfectionist tendencies or sort of those really high expectations, maybe you're coming in from a very strong career background. So you're used to being able to be in charge and know how to do things, maybe those type A personalities, you're like, yes, I can do it all. And then we step into this motherhood role where it's like, oh, this is very different than either I expected or than, I anticipated this experience being, and that can be extraordinarily challenging. So a couple of things that we really invite mothers, and mothers have really shared with me, what really helps. Number one is practical support. So for new parents, having somebody to help shovel the walk and do the dishes and bring in meals, those are still very, very helpful things. If you have somebody in your cohort that can come, hold baby so that you can take a little nap, these things are beautiful. We also know that moving your body is so, so important and getting outside of the house. So whether that's walking to the mailbox or around your house, maybe that's doing a yoga practice online. Obviously, I'm very invested in, using yoga as a tool for being connected to your own body. But whatever it is, going out for a drive or connecting to a parent group, even online, very, very helpful. And then finally, seeking out professional support where it's needed. In the Postpartum Support International I was trained through, the tagline is, you're not alone, you're not to blame, and with help you will be well. So for most new parents who are experiencing perinatal depression, that they do need some sort of external support to make that leap into wellness. So whether that's counseling, whether that's medication, I used sort of a really multidisciplinary approach. So, some of the combination of those plus like nutritional support, massage, acupuncture, and any kind of somatic modality where you can be physically in your body, moving that and experiencing that transition, because moms are in a brand new body when they come out of this birth experience. It is never the same, and it takes some time to get used to. What everything feels different, it moves differently. I experience the world differently. So when we can, in a safe and accessible way, get back into our bodies, to use our breath, to just be able to soften and relax into this new experience, it can be very, very helpful for a new mother.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing, Melissa. And I love how you have the multidisciplinary approach. Doesn't surprise me how I know you, that you're open to so many things. And yeah, it makes sense that you could draw from a vast array of resources available and supports available. And I really appreciate you sharing so vulnerably and honestly today, and taking time out of your day to speak with us here. So create a wonderful rest of your day, Melissa, and take care.
All right, bye now.
Okay, bye-bye.